Hello YouTube, my name is Kiara. This is my first general reading like this, but I wanted to give it a try. So, we'll be doing just a general love reading. So, I'll just start by pulling a card for the other person and then for the viewer, so you can kind of see if it resonates to start, see if it's the right video for you. So, right off the bat, so for the other person, we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So what I'm seeing here is the other person is reluctant to putting in work in the relationship. They may be pulling back, not investing as much. Maybe hiding things in regards to their work or their job is something I'm seeing. Maybe that's why you're looking for readings. You're curious why they are no longer kind of like investing or putting in work or being as diligent or paying attention to details, and just kind of like, you know, whenever you're working at something and you're really proud of it, you're really meticulous and really like putting in every little thing, focusing in on every little thing. There's like a care to it. There's like a certain care to the way you're going about things. So it seems like there's been a flip in that energy. There's not that same sense of care and diligence and attention being invested from one side here. And then on this side, I'm seeing one person. So we had the Nine of Wands and Temperance on this side. So with the Nine of Wands, the first thing I'm seeing here with this volcano is like someone who is like about to blow, like about to explode. They are like kind of stopping to take a rest before continuing, because it's like they're literally about to just, you know, pop off, lose it, get out of character, like just totally about to freak out and be just very discouraged. There's just like this, you know, right about to like give up at the end of the day and just say, okay, like I don't even care anymore. I'm just gonna like, you know, let loose and totally express what's going on with me. And then the Temperance represents kind of like a balance and that give and take, and like finding harmony and finding, you know, peace within yourself. So I'm seeing that this other person is really, really working towards taming all of those feelings and finding a balance and trying to find compassion and understanding for the situation, and but they're very, very hurt, and they're really trying to like mediate their own feelings with their reactions and find that balance within themselves and the situation, and should I keep going or should I draw a line? Is it the right thing to continue to persevere, or is it the right thing to have that inner self-respect to do something else, just a lot of pondering and trying to gain a sense of peace and composure and control within what's going on. So if that resonates with you, I'm going to go a little further here. So I'm going to get their energy towards the viewer and the viewer's energy towards them and their connecting energy. So, for their energy towards you, we have the Six of Wands here, which is all about like re-emerging, being victorious, like being a leader. It's very, very positive energy. It can be that like victory, leading the reunion type of coming, bringing people together to celebrate type of energy. There's like someone that you're building up and boosting up. So we're going to get clarifiers just to like yes. Okay, so the clarifier, we have the Four of Wands. So I just wanted to like really double check the energy here. The Four of Wands is also really positive. It can represent like two, coming together and kind of like a partnership of like choosing each other, celebratory. The Wands are very, very passionate. It's like our creative, emotional, passionate, fiery, so the bottom of the deck energy here, we have the Hermit. And so the Hermit can represent kind of like self-isolation. As you can see here, there's this candle here and it's kind of like lighting the way. So with the Hermit, it's kind of like self-isolating in order to turn inward and seek answers within and find like this inner resolve, to like find the light within you, like find the answers for yourself. And it can really represent like building that more intimate and personal connection with yourself and your intuition and the direction that you want to go in and what works for you. And so that's the bottom of the deck energy, which represents kind of like the underlying energy in a situation. And that is with the Four of Wands here. So what I'm seeing for their energy towards you is they have, really pulled in, isolated, retreated, turned inward to I'm also seeing like all of the colors here and just like how vibrant and colorful he is. What I'm seeing here is someone had to retreat within themselves in order to like further kind of find themselves. Like they needed to find more of their own colors and who they were and what made them up and what was truly a representation of them and the life that they wanted. And so they needed to retreat for a minute in order to digest their life at this time and like everything that was going on, and whether or not it was an investment that they wanted to continue to invest in. And there were just so many little details and so much that they were working on and that they were doing, that they kind of lost sight of the inner things that made them who they were. And so they felt like they needed to, step back and retreat for a minute. And it seems as though they, want to reemerge from this victorious. Like they want to reemerge from this and give their how do I want to say, they want to emerge from this inner isolation and kind of like claim what is passionate to them. So I'm seeing like the traditional Four of Wands in tarot, how they're like walking through the it's similar to this here. It's kind of like a structure, and they're walking through, hand in hand, and one of them has a bouquet up, and they're kind of like cheering, like we made it type of an energy. So it's like overcoming, this period of confusion and everything that is going on and that you can feel going on over here, because the Queen of Wands energy is in the space of, the viewer's energy towards them. So it looks like, this person has been able to remain composed and, even though they feel very, very passionate and fired up, and, there's definitely a lot of boundaries. Your worth, you deserve to be invested in, you deserve that yes, no questions asked, like you got it going on and you deserve it, and you do, and you were able to, rise above these emotions, like find this inner tranquility within all of the chaos and really rise above the like more toxic and chaotic emotions that were wanting to like abrupt and come through, and really elevated yourself, dignity, class, and composure, and elevated yourself to a space of I'm here, I deserve it, and it's gonna come to me. because I'm the Queen of Wands. I'm also seeing the sunflower here. So sunflowers will like open towards the sun. So it's like once the sun goes away, they'll literally bow down. And so that's kind of the energy I'm seeing with this card here, is this feminine was really able to find her inner divine femininity through this process. It was like being so tested, and you were really able to keep that inner composure. And so you were able to kind of elevate and rise spiritually to another level of just like attracting things to you. And when you open up and like show that inner light and that inner passion that you have, then it just draws in. It caused this masculine to literally wake up and be like, you know what? I want this person. I want to emerge with this person. I want to choose this person, build with this person, celebrate with this person, move forward. Like you're seeing the horse like moving forward. So it's like moving into a new chapter. And this also reminds me of like a little girl who, really desires to grow up and become a bride. So that might be relevant for someone. So the connecting energy is the Ten of Pentacles. So the Ten of Pentacles can represent, it's like that family dynasty, family wealth sometimes, but it can also just be like the structured systems. In this deck, we have a dragon who's kind of protecting all of his wealth. So what I'm really seeing here is it's like, as I was saying in the beginning, like there's someone who wasn't investing the same as they were before, and they were kind of pulling back and not putting in the same amount of effort and work, and just kind of being more self-focused, which is bottom of the deck energy. What these people have realized, what both of the viewer and the other person have realized through their processes that they've kind of went through in order to work out their feelings, is that this connection is what protecting, right? And it's also what I'm seeing, that you've already invested so much, you put in so much time and energy and work, and you've built so much together already. You have so much that both people are seeing, like, it is not worth, just throwing this away, I'm seeing like a skull here, and I instantly thought of like the past, like who you were a long time ago is almost like dead, like almost not even, you almost don't even really know who you are without each other, and not in a negative way, but in a way that's like you've just spent so much time in the past, putting in the work and the time and the energy to communicate with each other and to like build this really, really solid, secure foundation. That it's like the inner, I'm seeing the dragon is like the inner, it's like your inner selves are not willing to like let that go. You are going to cling to that and kind of protect the foundation that you've built, the connection that you've built together, the life that you've built together. So let's do like a past, present, and future real quick to see if it confirms the energy here. Okay, so the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck, in this deck, one of the key words for the Three of Wands is compromise. It's like working together to compromise, so that's the bottom of the deck energy. And initially, what I'm seeing here, so going back in the past here, we have the Three of Swords, which is a very, very, deep, painful, hurtful experience. Sometimes it can represent like a third party energy, and that doesn't always mean they cheated on you, or they had an affair, or there was a side piece, or they were thinking about another woman. It can, if that resonates, but if it doesn't, don't make that your situation. That can represent like them thinking about taking another, they had to retreat considering another job that was like in another area, and it, that would have taken you away, and so they had to consider that. That could be a third party. Third parties could be like family situations. You can have karmic family situations. You can have all kinds of dynamics. I'm getting, because we had the Ten of Pentacles here as well, that can also represent like family type stuff. And in the future energy, we have the Queen of Cups that came out by itself, just kind of like additionally. And so for whatever reason, I'm just kind of getting like mother, like mom is popping into my head. Like could be like aunt, sister, cousin, whatever. But yeah, the third party could definitely be like some sort of family dynamic regarding like a female figure that kind of put pressure on this individual, making them feel as though they could not invest the same, and so they had to try to kind of retreat within themselves and rework, okay, what are my priorities? What is it that I really want to invest in the direction that I really want to go in, and then once they did that, they chose, okay, I would like to, steadfast, head forward, and choose this person. I choose my, Queen of Wands. We choose to focus on, what we're passionate about and what we have invested in. So this is the past, right? This is what kind of created this whole situation, what's put you in a state of confusion and having to fight your demons and not coming out of pocket, out of character, getting triggered. So the present energy, we have the Queen of Swords and the Knave of Wands. So the Knave of Wands is like the Knight of Wands in this deck. And then, I'm seeing two different things here. So with the Knight of Wands, I've heard before that it can be like someone who's like not necessarily ready to settle down, someone who's kind of like in and out and is like going to be on to the next thing, kind of like a romance or womanizer type of energy. They're not quite at that King of Wands where they know how to harness and control that inner passion and inner desire, that fire. It's just kind of like goes with the wind. So this is in the reverse. So this energy, this person is coming out of that type of an energy. And then so we got the Queen of Swords. And in this deck, she's like literally like holding someone's head. So the Queen of Swords can represent kind of like, using logic over emotions, rising above the situation and finding that head over heart, like I'm too smart, it's just, it's not a very emotionally vulnerable or very compromising, especially not in this deck, right? The Queen of Hearts, like off with his head, like she doesn't even, take a second to hear someone out. And so I think that's where the, Three of Swords, like the compromising energy is coming. It's like the viewer here is, finding a place within themselves where they're like, okay, I'm not just gonna like bite their head off, They also feel this energy of like what we have is very valuable and it's worth protecting, and it is worth like taking a second look before just making a really rash decision to just cut something off at the head, So that's what I'm getting for both of those being reversed in the present energy. So I feel like that's what's going on for each side here, kind of. And then in the future, we have the King of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles. These came out together. And then, like I said, this Queen of Cups came out like off to, it just kind of came out like secondary off to the side. Like it was almost like a bonus card. And then she just doesn't look very happy in this deck. Like there's just kind of this, I don't know, like her expression is saying a lot to me. So what I'm getting here, so in this deck, the Four of Pentacles can represent kind of holding on to your assets and like holding things close. It can be selfish, but it can also be just like being withholding and protecting and not revealing all of your interests, and trying to like be smart with what you're doing. And so I feel like in the future, that's what this, this person is elevated to this King of Pentacles, which is like, I'm going to be that stability and that provider. I'm going to continue to invest long term, show up, be responsible, be someone that is able to be counted on. And, especially the Four of Pentacles being like a tree in this deck, it's like putting roots down for what you believe in, and really like finding that balance between all of the things you care about, between your family and this other person and your relationship and your job and your life and your happiness and your ability to provide for everyone and take care of everyone. It's like, you're going to figure out, they're going to figure out, really where their priorities are, what's important to them, where they should be investing, who should be knowing about what when it comes to their finances, where they should be investing things, how much they should share with their family, how much they should make their family really involved in their finances and their personal life when it comes to things like that, because they're realizing that this just kind of caused them to turn away from the thing that they like really care about, so in the future, they're going to be more grounded and more firm in their foundation and what they stand for and how they present themselves and, show up to provide for the people that they care about, and how they allocate their resources that they have to offer others, right? And how they invest their time into different things. And I feel like I'm also seeing the snake on this pentacle here. So it's like they are aware of the difference between good money and bad money. Like they're shielding themselves from things that are going to come in and corrupt them and not help, themselves invest in the long-term longevity, prosperity for themselves. It's like so many people, like seem like they're helping you, but they just want to come in and like kind of siphon your energy away from you to serve themselves, and you're not able to invest in like your own family wealth, your own, structure, your own dynasty, if you will, like what's going to carry on, for your children and your household. And there's just a lot of really, really huge shifts, mindset shifts, and this isolation period has really helped this other person to go through these things and like process these things and figure out who they are and what is really their values. And it's just like leveling up into having just a completely different energy where there's just a lot more of like a firmness and a lot more of a personal confidence of them just like knowing where they're rooted and knowing where they, are grounded and where their boundaries are. And yeah, I definitely feel like that's why this Queen of Cups is kind of over here, and she's like looking, these cards are here, and then she's like over here kind of like looking to the side, and I'm seeing this headpiece is kind of just like, I know it's a headpiece, but I instantly just saw like a little cloud above her with like all these little particles and specks. Like she's just kind of like lost in her head, like, oh my gosh, like, how did this happen? Like she's just standing there with her cup like kind of dumbfounded, because she really did not expect this person to like ground themselves and just like turn inward and find themselves. Like she just thought she could keep everyone just so wrapped up in this like little mental, those little crazy games where you're just so there's just so much chaos, and it's just like so much, just a lot of mind games, to where your energy is just really scattered, and it's really hard for you to see through like what's going on. And there's just so much chaos, and it's just like a lot of like he said and she said, and being so confused if you're going the right direction, if you're making the right decision, if you did all these things and that was right. And taking that step back and that time to isolate in, like this, the viewer was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? You felt so out of control, so you're like freaking out, but it was actually for the best, because there's like silencing all the noise of everyone around to just be like, okay, when this person did that, they really were able to be like, okay, what is me, and like what do I really want, and how do I really want to go about things, and what's the energy that I want to build in my life. And they were like, obviously it's my divine feminine, clearly it's this, connection that I've invested so much in, and I, feel so deeply for. So we're just gonna get like an oracle card here. So the bottom of the deck energy, we have time, So this card is all about like divine timing and trusting that you are exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. And everything is unfolding exactly as it needs to. Like I said, like this felt, this separation, or maybe you didn't even have a separation, but it was just like things were just different for a while and you just didn't fully understand what was going on. This was necessary and it was okay, and you are being divinely led. Everything is always orchestrating in our best favor, and so it's just really, really trusting and having that faith that everything is kind of coming together and synchronizing in perfect timing. You couldn't have like rushed it to be any sooner, because they needed to come to those resolutions on their own. Like they needed to have those like moments of mental clarity on their own for it to be truly authentic, for you to be able to truly build from that and it be a very stable foundation that no one can like mess with or interfere with in the future. Like you can't, mess with things like that. We also have healer. So we're going to get a clarifying card. So the clarifying card is time. Wow, okay. And then lucky is at the bottom of the deck. So that card represents that basically whatever situation you're dealing with right now, like whatever's going on with you, you are lucky, you're fortunate. Like I was saying before, like this all happened for your benefit in the long run, for your divine benefit. You are going to reemerge out of this stronger, and they're going to give you a deeper commitment, and it is going to be, that much more passionate and exciting, and this was going to be like a beneficial thing for you. And it also helped you to like grow and elevate spiritually, and to know that like you can be tested and really find like poise and compose yourself and strength. You can find really great strength through these things. And so this card here represents, you have that healing energy around you, and you can call on anything you need to assist you. But maybe you're like a healer, maybe you have like a very sensitive spiritual energy, and this was for you too, to like figure out within yourself that you are capable of healing things for yourself. And whenever you feel uncomfortable or confused or out of control, you can figure out how to overcome reactions you would have had in the past. And what I'm seeing here is like this time where everything was very chaotic and not quite the same. The connection was just not quite the same. It was all happening. This whole thing has been in divine timing to help you to heal any underlying issues that were in the connection, to heal yourselves individually, so that you can come together and help each other heal more together, because you do feel as though this is like something very valuable that you do want to protect and cherish. And having that realization of that like tenderness that you have for each other in itself is a very, very healing thing. And going through situations like this and figuring out ways to like break cycles of like how we would have reacted in the past, or like all just anything that was repeating within yourselves, and relationship dynamics that are not the healthiest. Sometimes it's like hard to end certain things that we're doing even when we know it's not quite right, and we really do need that time to process what is it within me that creates these feelings. also what I'm getting here, seeing the eye, is like having that one thing that's really been healed through this whole situation is having that trust in the divine, that you're always being divinely led. Even when you can't see what's going on, you know that, you know, someone else higher than you can, and there's a purpose that's bigger than you and how you feel in this moment, and you really are always being divinely led to, you know, what is best for you. And so sometimes you have to trust the crazy, weird things that happen and that we go through in life with ourselves and with our partners. So I want to get just a few message cards from the Hermit Tarot's message deck here. So at the bottom of the deck we have no, and then underneath that we have I need time for me, and I'm also seeing I just dream and wish for everything. So what I'm getting is what I was saying earlier is like them kind of finding their inner voice and their inner power, and like I'm getting that this no is like in reference to that other energy I was picking up, like that mother, like that other female karmic energy that I was picking up. It's like they were like, no, boundaries, you know, stop sign, okay, hang on, hold up, I need time for me, you know, I'm just wishing and dreaming for everything. Like they're just so overwhelmed with all the different directions they were pulled in. They were like, okay, hold on. So we have, I still don't have all the answers. So right now in present time, you know, because yeah, like the present energy was like this Knave of Wands being in reverse and the Queen of Swords being in reverse. So it's like both parties kind of finding a compromise and starting to turn around on those energies that they were in. So a lot of the things I said, I'm just wanting to clarify, like a lot of the things I said with the future energy is like has not manifested yet, because we're in this divine timing type of a situation. So this is kind of the direction that you're headed to in this present time. So these are our current energies, is like right now it's like at a turning point and at a shift point for both parties to be like, okay, maybe I can kind of like drop my sword and find a little bit of compromise. Maybe I can kind of like change my ways, and maybe I can do things differently at this point moving forward. So we always have free will, it's always a choice. So yeah, so we are getting, I still don't have all the answers. So they're in the process right now of figuring that out, finding the answers, uncovering all the things. It's, you know, they haven't like completely had every realization yet in present time, but they're getting there, you know, they're working on it. And there's a bigger picture to the process sometimes. We have do you think about me too? So they're curious if, you think about them in the same way that they think about you. Like, do you want to reemerge from this the same way that they do? Like, would you, want that deeper commitment in the same way that they do? And we also have I am obsessed with your body. So they're very attracted to you. What I'm getting from this is like a staying up, thinking about everything, like this I just dream and wish for everything on the bottom of the deck. I just see in my head like them just kind of like laying in bed at night, ruminating, thinking about like past times you've had together, thinking about like you and just your energy and just like your presence, and yeah, how much they like crave that. And they just have a very, very hard time getting these types of thoughts out of their head. They're just really struggling with that. They're very passionate about you, and they really, really care very deeply, and they don't know like if you feel that exact same way that they do. They're not sure, and you might be confused when I say that, because you might be like, how could they not know, obviously. But if they have another person kind of like messing with them or manipulating them, or there's another person that's like interfering with their energy or has been in the past, that kind of put them in this place of like emotional turmoil, like it caused them a lot of pain, obviously. And so this person obviously, knew how to like really put them in some type of way to where they felt like they really needed to retreat and like figure it out for themselves, and turn inward. And so now there is this like insecurity within them to where they're like, do you really think about me in that same way too? They don't know for sure. Like they don't know 100% if you care about them as much, or just, where you are, if you would just cut their head off if they tried to like come to you and let you know that there's a huge, right now it's just this huge influx and like changing of energy, and there's so many realizations that are being brought to them, and they're just really, really waking up in a big sense. But it's all for the best. Like this is, it's good for their highest healing, for your highest healing. It's just all about like having that trust. And yeah, honestly, I'm just gonna leave it there. So thank you if you watched this far. And if this resonated with you, and you want like more personal reading or more in-depth reading, you can visit the link in the description box to get a personal reading from me. But hope you have a wonderful day.